Welcome back, guys. You are watching the Quake Live Championship right here at DreamHack Winter 2013. And I'm joined by Fraze now, and we've got an amazing match to cast. It's going to be Rapha and DaHanG. That's going to be pretty good. Sadly, one American will make it through here, and one will go home. So, Fraze, what are your expectations here for this match?
Well, I've seen these two play a lot, and I think maybe DaHanG has a little bit of maybe a slight edge over Rapha that maybe some other players wouldn't have. So I'm sort of thinking maybe he might win this. It'll be interesting though. Best of 5, not really best of 3, which is quite often what he will win. So
yeah,
I think I'm going to tip Rapha, but I wouldn't be surprised if DaHanG won.
All right, so I'm going to let these guys know they're ready to go because we want to get this game started really, really fast here. And DaHanG is ready, and we're on Lost World right now. And this is going to be really interesting. Here we are getting live. It's DaHanG versus Rapha. It is DreamHack Winter 2013. This is a huge match right now. And here we go, off the start, we're with DaHanG. And DaHanG right now is making his way onto that rocket launcher and onto the Mega. So what do you make of the start here?
Yeah, DaHanG's definitely got the better spawn. If he had got up there, like that was a failed rocket jump. And as you can see, at this level of play, little movement and errors like that can really cost you a lot. So if he had got up there, he might have been able to hit Rapha with a rocket, maybe even knock him into the lava if he got really lucky. But now he's in a really tough position, and he might go for the red, but it would be risky.
And here he is just waiting now to see what he can get. And actually catches Rapha. That was a really nice play there. And Rapha falls, unable to pick up that red armor. And DaHanG's going to capitalize, grab that 100, and make his way through the tally. He's got a Mega coming up here, and he should be able to mount a good defense. But he's got no rockets. So Rapha may not realize that, though. And right now, DaHanG picking up that Mega health. He's going to be in great shape. So it's a very shaky start for him, but he seems to be stabilizing. And now he should be looking at a frag.
Yeah, he's definitely in a better position right now. And he's got center map. He just needs to grab maybe a little bit more LG ammo, which he's going for now. And then, excellent rocket. He could have moved in there almost, but his second rocket was kind of bad, so then he sort of didn't. And that's really nice by Rapha to rush out, knowing that he would push out. And this is where Rapha is at really his best, when he's in the sort of the high ground. He will own you like sort of no one else can, whereas a weaker player who's up there, they can maybe do like 50 damage, 60 maybe, whereas he can go up there, he can do 250 just like so quickly. So it's really good positioning by him. And now it's going to be tough for DaHanG to get top again. He would have liked to rocket jump, but not knowing where Rapha is, then he couldn't do that. So he's just going to wait for red, which again is risky against a player like Rapha.
Great rocket there dealt to DaHanG as he picks up that red, and his chances going for the next fight are looking worse and worse as Rapha keeps getting these 3 bits of damage. So Rapha really coming back into this map right now, and DaHanG losing a lot of stack. There's a yellow though, so he's going to feel confident, but lacking those rockets is really going to be a big consideration for DaHanG as he sprints out onto the open map. Position is his, but the Mega's up, but look at that great trap there from Rapha. Huge damage dealt, and that's going to change things dramatically. So Rapha should be able to really change the pace here.
Yeah, I think Rapha's got it with that damage. He'll be slightly ahead on stack, I'm fairly sure. And also, it was interesting that was the same sort of trap that DaHanG was in. And I always like see those sort of things. And I think Rapha definitely managed to pull it off a little bit better than DaHanG. But yeah, so with no items coming up, DaHanG's a bit really early for red, and now he's going to be forced to run. So really good by Rapha to rocket jump there. I mean, it can really switch around the positions rather than him coming through the teleporter behind DaHanG. It was the sort of almost the other way around where he had the first shots of damage. So it's really clever by Rapha.
And DaHanG, going back to that lightning gun. It's still 0-0, and we're about to hit the 3-minute mark, so things still very, very tight between these guys. Lots of little skirmishes, but no real solid, committed engagement here. Nothing really like that just yet. I mean, that's often how Lost World can pan out. And here it goes DaHanG. Rapha might just know exactly where he is, and he does indeed. Great rocket there, pushing him back. DaHanG has to find another route around, but a center map is owned right now by Rapha, and DaHanG makes his way back up here into the back areas. So Rapha seems to have a better position. At the moment, he's trying to abuse it. It's doing quite well for him. And DaHanG again pushed back. It's like DaHanG, he can't go anywhere. Rapha's always in his face.
Yeah, you never want to be in the position that DaHanG's in now, even though he's got like an intimidating stack. So it's going to be hard for him to sort of instantly die. But he's walking around the map, and now he does die. Rapha pushes him to the frag, and he's actually 1-0 up with 3 minutes down now. So he's in a really good position, but as I was saying before, DaHanG was in a position where it was one of those ones where you hate finding yourself in, where you sort of have to move around, you can't stand still, but you don't know where Rapha is. So you sort of, every move you make, you're sort of thinking, oh, just please don't be there. Yeah. And that's never a good way to play this game. So Rapha actually in position for Mega. Maybe DaHanG could have pushed, but quite often when you go 1-0 down, you don't really want to go quickly 2-0 down if you get to catch like a lucky rocket or something like that. But that was kind of bad dodging by DaHanG, and he actually got caught on the corner there, so it was a little unfortunate, but nice rockets by rapha.
And now 2-0 up. And rapha's looking pretty strong just throughout this on control. He hasn't looked that shaky yet. And Mega coming up soon as well. So DaHanG, what kinds of plays is he going to have to make here to try to bring the scoreline back, would you say?
Well, he's definitely got to slow down for now, because the stack and guns and ammo and knowledge of what's coming up is just not really going for him right now. So he was doing the right thing and slowing down, picking up a yellow, and he's just going to have to sort of, not really want to come through where he's coming now. Oh, that's a risky steal. That could have ended up quite bad for him. And if he can get out of here without taking too much damage, which he has, then that's actually really excellent for him. So now he's a similar stack to rapha, slightly less, but with this yellow going to rapha, then he has a bit more, and he might be able to catch DaHanG here if he comes out, which I don't think that he'll come out too far. We always got that grenade though. And yeah, so we'll probably see rapha try to get both these items, whereas DaHanG will do well to get onto one.
And here, have the halfway mark, and here finally rapha taking a big engagement there over at that Mega, but DaHanG stands strong, picks it up, and it's going to be a bit of a split. And looking at the stacks, DaHanG's looking really good right now, and he takes some more fights here with rapha over on the center map, and rapha has to back away, and this is now looking quite good for DaHanG. He's actually working his way into a frag here, but can he clutch it out? Can he close it? That's really the case that he needs to try to achieve here, because otherwise rapha's going to get away and stack back up. He's got to try to get him now whilst he's vulnerable, and there he messes up. He drops there and is not able to catch rapha with any damage at all, and rapha picks up that red and waiting patiently for the exit. Rapha will get out of there, and this is what I was afraid of. The opportunity, it's drifting away now.
Yeah, that was one of those unfortunate positions where it was hard for him to really do that much damage. And also back before, it was interesting to note that if rapha does have one weakness, it can maybe be against LG sometimes, from what I've seen. And as you saw when they were fighting at Mega, rapha sort of went dunk, 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 whereas DaHanG was like hitting 100%. So yeah, he really came out ahead of that engagement. And he actually managed to turn it into a frag. And also with the grenade there, rapha in an excellent position again. So that's really well played.
Yeah, great stuff there. rapha's all over this lost spell, and he picks it for a reason, catches DaHanG again on the drop, and DaHanG does a lot of damage there actually, but I mean it's not really going to amount to much as rapha has position. He's got all the items coming up for him soon. The red's there, and DaHanG falls again off the spawn. rapha really capitalizing. And there goes DaHanG, chipping away at rapha, but it's not really worth it at this stage. And rapha going to get that red finally, set himself up for Mega, and it's just business as usual for the American as DaHanG scurries away there, back towards that lightning gun. Looking good for rapha so far on map number 1.
Yeah, he's in a really dominant position. 4 minutes to go. Still got not full control, but a good level of control, especially after hitting that midi. That was I said a midi again. That direct rocket. It's really unfortunate for DaHanG to have taken that, because if he hadn't have taken that, he might have been able to do a bit of damage himself. So it's just one of those rockets where it's like a double whammy, where you missed and they hit. So instead of it's like a 200 HP turnaround. So it was kind of unlucky, but it's going to be hard for DaHanG. He sort of needs to stack up a little and then go for a frag around 8 minutes, because 4 frags, you're not going to really do that. Yeah, so he's gone to frag a little bit too early maybe, or at least tried to push him for damage, because with 2.5 minutes to go, especially if he dies now, which he will, that's going to be game over there. I can't imagine rapha losing from here with the level of control he has, and he's probably going to pick up another one anyway.
Yeah, it looks like he's got it in the bag. He hasn't really looked like he's been in a terrible position at all since the start, really. I mean, there's been some spots which were good for DaHanG, but it never looked like rapha was really ready to give up on the map. He always seems to step ahead, and it seems that with 2 minutes left, I mean, this is when you're saying you're expecting DaHanG to take a fight, but he took one a bit earlier, so yeah, probably won't get one for a while. But actually going to make a play on this Mega. It's going pretty well for him so far, pushing rapha back. Oh, the plasma connects about 5 in a row right there. Very in quick succession, and there's the Mega, but look at the shotgun spawn for rapha, playing it out very well, and a lot of damage dealt to DaHanG, instantly removing that Mega. DaHanG will pick up that red armor, but I think the time is not on his side, and rapha is making his life an absolute misery at the moment. And how do you think this series is going to pan out from what you've been seeing now? I mean, we've got map number 1 going to rapha, his choice, and do you think generally he's got a big edge over DaHanG?
No, don't know about a big edge. I mean, it's well documented how DaHanG can sort of play well against rapha and take maps. So I think it'll be interesting to see what the next map is, DaHanG's pick, and see how he goes on that one. But also, in this game, it was important to note that when DaHanG got that first frag, maybe he would have been better off when he had 60 health, just rocket jumping up. And yeah, he would when rapha got the shotgun spawn and then he went out to rocket launcher. If DaHanG had have rocket jumped, that was pretty much his only chance. But instead, I mean, he was probably going to die anyway, but that was his only chance. So instead, he decided not to do that, and then it was game over. If it wasn't already, I mean, rapha got quite a nice spawn at shotgun, did the right thing, went above, knocked him back down. I mean, it couldn't have really got much better for him. And we're going to see toxicity as the next map. So DaHanG's choice, he really got to win this. If he loses this, he'll probably go down 3-0. Coming down 2-0, going down 2-0 against a player like rapha, if you thought you had a good chance, then you might not be thinking so positively after 2-0.
And looking at these two maps, it's like two rapha maps, it feels like, as well. So it's not the best start for DaHanG on the maps, it seems. And I mean, quite a few people have called rapha maybe the best toxicity player. And would you agree with that, being a very proficient there yourself?
I haven't played him before, so I'm sure he probably beat me though. But no, he seems quite good at it when I was watching him. The thing is with him is he never puts himself as much as what I would do for sort of risky fights.
Okay, yeah.
Whereas I'll go for the risky fight, sort of knowing or thinking that I'll be able to, do the damage, hit the shot, and then sort of go from there. So he's always taking like more calculated. It's not like it's not calculated, because when I do something stupid, or not stupid, but when I attack when maybe I didn't have to, I'm thinking about, I'm not just mindlessly going in.
Yeah, you're like looking at the risks.
He's definitely always very sort of much more proficient at thinking about when he's going to go in, rather than just thinking, oh yeah, I could go in here.
Yeah.
He's thinking, okay, I'm not going to go in here, or I am going to go in here because it's the best move. So,
gotcha. Yeah.
I can't say who's going to win this one. I've heard DaHanG is quite a decent player on this one too. So and he obviously picked it, so he thinks he's got maybe the edge over rapha.
That's the interesting thing. Yeah, so it's going to be really, really cool to see this. Of course, rapha so far, he's been really dominant every time we've seen him on this map, just as you would expect. And yeah, as you said, it does seem very typical. I think you described it quite well. rapha does tend very much to just be really stable, very like optimal decision making. It's hard to ever see him take risks, especially when he's in control. He never really tries to take a risk. He's always very composed, and I think that's something we've seen from a lot of the players who are newer to the stage and stuff like that. They're getting really good positions, and basically they maybe just throw it away because they don't have the experience yet to go, okay, wait, I should just wait in this spot. It's better to have patience, better to just focus. But the emotions get to them. But rapha's very focused. He's been on stage. He lives on stage pretty much. So we're going to see a very cool game between these two guys. They know each other inside out. And we're very, very soon here. Just let them know we're ready to go.
Yeah, the way I see rapha is that he'll never find himself in a spot where he knows that he has to hit or else he's dead. It's very rare that he'll find himself in that spot unless he's sort of off spawn, which can happen to anybody. And also the thing with him is he always delays his spawn, or when it's sort of beneficial to do, so he's very difficult to frag even off spawn. So he's quite obviously a solid player, winning as many tournaments as he has, and I'll let you take it.
Yeah, so here we go, we're getting live. rapha and DaHanG, map number 2, Toxicity. It is going to be on DaHanG to begin with. He's playing a map behind, but it is Toxicity, so let's see if he's able to do something special here. And the start for DaHanG isn't too bad, it isn't too shabby, just missing out on the railgun here. And rapha got a bit better on the positioning though. DaHanG might get a bit trapped over at the red here if he's not careful. And rapha just throwing over some rockets, but DaHanG hasn't really taken any nasty chunks of damage just yet. So things are starting very slowly here. And DaHanG looking for this next red, and surely rapha's going to pressure from above. There he is with the pressure, and got that good positioning on Mega. This can be really good for DaHanG if he gets the fight quickly enough towards Mega, but he's going to let rapha take it pretty easily here. What do you think about this start?
Yeah, he's got such a good stack that there's no need for him to throw it away on a risk. So it's probably better that he did not really contest as much, especially now that he's hit a rail. So he can do a little bit or avoid damage here, which he did, or almost caught the rocket though. And he's actually pushed in for the fight, which is kind of risky, but whoever hits the better LG will win here. And excellent, that's like really, that's Tox level LG from DaHanG, and he still died. So rapha must have hit quite a bit himself, but a really nice attack from DaHanG to push in there. And this is what I hate about this map sometimes, is the fact that you died, that you got the first frag, and then because you got it on about 20 seconds, then all the items are spawning. So the guy who died and probably did a bad attack now has everything, which is the only thing I don't like about this map, because as you know, I'm quite a fan. But yeah, it's really nice by DaHanG. I'd like to see him go for one more rail here. This is if rapha had a sort of rushed up there, which maybe he knew that rapha wasn't going to, but if he did, then rapha would have been in a good position to LD to the YA. So DaHanG in a really excellent. Oh, I was going to say he was going to the right spot, but he sort of went too hard. So therefore, he ran into rapha's LG, and he's going to have a tough time getting this. Yeah, he's going to die if he sticks around. He should know that rapha has way more stack. I mean, this is another thing about rapha is he won't stick around unless he knows that he's going to get the frag or thinks that he's got a really great chance. So sometimes when he will turn around to fight you, you sort of think, oh, I got him here. But then you sort of realise that, oh, maybe I don't. So that was a really nice play by rapha to stick around there up high rather than drop down, where DaHanG would have had the dominating position. So it's going to be tough for DaHanG to get back on this map, especially with rapha taking the red.
And now 2-2. So rapha taking the lead here with the control, and he's got DaHanG kind of pushed in the corner of the map now over at the yellow. This fight is not so good for DaHanG, and rapha has a lot left over. DaHanG not able to take that yellow before he died as well, which is kind of annoying for him, as that's going to be a bit of added stack towards rapha. Gets the mega as well, so in a really nice spot. Now rapha can probably just push for this, but good rail there from DaHanG to kind of keep rapha at bay, but not for long, and not for long enough at all, because rapha just straight on that red, gets the frag as well. It's looking really bad. Is this going to get out of control?
It could do. That was one of those moments where DaHanG had a choice whether he wanted to sort of fight and take a huge risk, which could pay off, but could also leave him with nothing. And obviously it didn't work out. Not only did he not get the red, he didn't really do much damage with LG as well. So we're probably going to see rapha drop the red and then maybe rocket jump. No, actually he's going for mega first, which I actually don't mind as well, because now he'll be able to do damage on red, even though DaHanG got it. So especially because DaHanG didn't rocket jump, he really should have just rocket jumped. I mean, it's interesting that rapha would leave him alive there, but yeah, definitely DaHanG in a really tough spot.
Certainly, rapha jumping on over now. Super stack. This is like the kind of forbidden stack. DaHanG trying to remove it, trying to be responsible here, because rapha, if he keeps running around with this, keeps maintaining this, DaHanG is not going to have a chance to get back into this, at least on the scoreboard. There goes rapha up, punching himself up with a rocket jump, finding another fight, catching DaHanG with the LG, does take him down, and it's looking like we're just seeing the same thing over and over again now. And DaHanG does take another plasma fight right here, and not able to do much. Does a lot of damage, but here is the items coming up for rapha. Mega, red, DaHanG's got to win this fight. Oh, it's so close. So close.
Yeah, sort of weaker LG towards the end of the fight really cost DaHanG there, because he would be in the same position as rapha, if what his rapha is now, if he had won that fight. But he did manage to hit quite a nice rocket, so he's really got to win this fight here and probably push him away. Machine gun is the right option, but it's still going to be tough because there's no items up and DaHanG doesn't have guns, so you'll probably see rapha abuse that, and he is going to abuse that. Oh, but DaHanG actually managed to hit the rail. So yeah, rapha did the right thing. It's obviously being risky, knowing that DaHanG might get a shot off, and yeah, so that was sort of kind of lucky for DaHanG, but he managed to get the shot off and he managed to hit. So it was the right play by rapha to move in, and it sort of didn't work out that time. But yeah, so DaHanG needs to be able to get some more health, maybe go to the 50 bubble. It's going to be risky, and rapha knows that he's weak.
Oh god, it's always such a horrible spot to be in. I hate it so much. He does find himself 125 at least, and there are the other ones as well. So DaHanG does manage to get himself some health to actually use the armor that he has. And there is rapha being an absolute nuisance from below. DaHanG throwing down the rockets. Oh, he connects the rail. Beautiful there from DaHanG, managing to stabilize that situation. Oh, and he pushes rapha off, making rapha miss the jump and catches the kill. So all of a sudden, DaHanG has just turned the tide massively, 7-5. In favor of rapha still, but DaHanG is well and truly on the comeback trail. But this is a key moment for him. The items not spawning for a while. If rapha gets a lot of damage now, it could be really bad for DaHanG. He's going to have to try to avoid it here, try to keep himself alive so he can pick up these items. Rapha goes down, and this is looking good.
Yeah, DaHanG's definitely winning this map now. Although he's not winning on the score, you'd much rather be in his position right now, even though he's one frag down, because he's going to be able to get full stack. He might be able to... Oh, he misses the rail. That's a really crucial rail, because then even when he grabs the red, you can still move in. But because he missed that one, he couldn't move in. So now he's in the sort of even position. So whoever wins this fight here, which rapha sort of did a little bit more damage, but not too much. So if DaHanG can get this yellow and then position himself maybe at the 50 bubble near rail, then he'll be in a really great position. Blows himself up with his own grenade, I think. But both players fighting for the 50 bubble position, which is exactly what they should have been doing. And yeah, so this is where DaHanG... You feel unlucky, but he didn't get to the 50 bubble when he needed to get there. Yeah. rapha got there first, and then he was able to ride that out to victory over the situation. So rapha definitely got the ascendancy. Oh, big grenade. That's really
nice. And oh my goodness.
Rocket. Maybe rockets would have been better than LG. I think he thought he was a bit lower than what he was, but he might be able to get in the red. And lucky for him, the 50 bubble is up, so he will be able to get red. Just go red DaHanG. So he probably shouldn't have dropped for the 25, just in case Rapha did come charging in. I mean, it hasn't worked out too bad as long as he survives here, which he probably won't. Oh, wow. Big rail. That's really massive.
That was
especially
pretty
with
sweet.
Mega coming up. He just needs to go there. He won't know that it's up. Oh, and he backs. He's backing away. Just go for it. That's pretty soft, kind of weak play, really. Not knowing when it's up, yeah, but in such a situation, I think it's okay to take the risk and put the game on that situation. Like, if you get the Mega, you win pretty much, because he would have been in a dominating position, and if you don't get it, you lose, because you got quite a good opportunity, because they're not always going to attack you there anyway, so it would have been better for him to at least look, but he's still in a decent position.
Yeah.
It's not like he's behind.
Oh no,
wow.
rapha dropping onto DaHanG. That's so critical there, and he almost wins the fight, but you can see how much that drop cost rapha. Rapha really, with that stack he had, should have been ahead, but no, DaHanG gets the frag, and it was 7-7. DaHanG pulled it all the way back, but again he's in this position where he's got no health at all, and the 50's there for him. Oh my god. What is going to happen here? No, he has to back away, find some fives. DaHanG is really stressed right now. And, oh, there's rapha. He's got to protect himself with the rockets, and rapha coming in with the lightning gun, and it has to back away there, and it finds him on the 50 bubble position once again, and there he cuts him down with the lightning, and rapha finally finds it. What a tense moment.
Yeah.
What a moment. That jump, man.
Yeah, I really liked what DaHanG did, where he sort of went back to LG and then went down for the 25 bubble. Unfortunately for him, it wasn't up, but that was really clever. I don't know if I would have done that. I probably would have just jumped across Rapha's screen and probably died to his MG, but taken on at least. A really excellent LG from both players there. DaHanG's going to have to push in, and he's got it. So I would say that DaHanG is really in an excellent position right now. With the lead, he's got plenty of time for items to come up, so he can go down to the rocket launcher. See, why would he come here? He should just gone to the rocket launcher where he was now, and maybe railed rapha, but he's actually done excellent damage anyway, so he's just got to back off, grab a yellow, move in, and defend Mega.
Making this a really tight game on Toxicity. This has been a really intense match so far. DaHanG finds rapha again around the corner, trying to turn the corner, but rapha turns around with 1 health and says no, and rails him down, and that's going to be 9-9. Rapha just again, he did it against Faz with 2 health, now he does it against DaHanG with 1, and he is so ballsy right now, missing that rail, but 1 minute warning called there by the in-game announcer, and things are getting even more tense right now.
Yeah, real crucial rocket there from rapha to keep DaHanG from having that dominant stack where he can just do what he wants. So I'd still much rather be in DaHanG's position, obviously, because he has all the stack, he has all the guns. So with this yellow coming up for DaHanG, he'll be in a really good position. But rapha won't die easy here. It's not like some players where you'll just catch him. You won't catch him. You've really got to force your way in, and he's actually going to get.
Oh,
that's it. That's what he had to do.
off.
Switch to LG. I'd probably either rocket jump or go through the teleporter behind him. He had to, and he should push in.
Oh man,
the frag. He should just
crucial
wait
moment. And what's rapha going to do off of this? Oh my goodness. DaHanG just marching forwards now, and in the closing moments, he did it when it counted, all at that Mega. It looked like rapha had the best position. It looked like rapha really was going to take that fight.
GG.
It was so close, but there is the GG, and DaHanG is going to win. An absolutely nailed by Tarava Toxicity. Map number 2. It's going to be 1-1 between these two players. 11-9, the final score there. Oh my god. That was pretty intense. Bringing out the lights as well. Yeah, this is getting good.
Yeah, that was a really great game. DaHanG did well to get his way back into the game after getting off to a slow start, which is obviously not ideal, especially when you're 1-0 down. So he did really well to hold his nerve and get back into it. He did some really sick LG at times, which looked like it was Tox shooting the LG. But he did, especially the 2 fights at Red, where he definitely won with damage. Not always with how the fight sort of ended after the situation, like after the fight. But he definitely always won with damage, which was really crucial. If rapha had have hit the same sort of LG as what DaHanG had hit, then he definitely would have lost those situations. So DaHanG would have lost. So that was really excellent LG.
Definitely. And we move on to Airwalk now. So if you guys thought that was nuts, you thought that was intense, this should be just as insane. And Airwalk, do you like either player more than the other?
I actually like DaHanG again for this one. Fast map. I think that favours him because maybe he's not as good at timing items, maybe, or his positioning around the map. So it might favour him to have a more risky sort of aim-based map.
Here we go.
And yeah, really nice spawn for DaHanG. It's really perfect to spawn on the red like that, unless you sometimes lag over it where you don't grab it on spawn, which I think mostly happens online, but it's such an annoying thing to happen. So really great for him. And he just wants to deny the rail and deny, maybe if rapha doesn't have rockets, I think he does though. So he's just got to get in position for red, which is what he's doing. And maybe he would like grenades here, so maybe he would force his way over to the yellow, grab grenades, set up for Mega after he grabs the yellow. Really clutch rail there.
definitely going to really help DaHanG in his chances on Mega. And actually, DaHanG might be, after picking up this Mega, just looking to just dive at rapha. Unless rapha can do a lot of damage here, there's going to be nothing to really stop DaHanG from just getting in rapha's face. But let's see if rapha can be elusive. There is DaHanG now. After that Mega pick up 200, 200. And there he is, just gets in rapha's face with the LG. rapha, brilliant rockets there, 49 points of health left, and that's going to be 25 for DaHanG and the red armor. So rapha there trying to reapply the pressure after that fight. And there's a great rail, making DaHanG's life really hard here as he needs to find some kind of health on the map. But Mega's coming up soon, and DaHanG needs to get healthy for it again, or he's going to lose it.
Yeah, it's so frustrating when there's no health bubbles up. You always feel so unlucky. Like, it could have, if you, you don't really understand, or you will understand it, but you don't really sort of, it's hard to explain how unfortunate it is that the health bubble's not there, because it can turn your really great armor stack to, you're so vulnerable, whereas you would be so strong and you'd be able to get all the items, rather than now you can't fight for anything. So DaHanG's actually done well to get onto the yellow, but he can't afford to go for a rail now, and especially because now that he's used his last slug, he's in a lot of trouble on this side of the map.
Here we go, DaHanG going to jump through that teleporter, plenish that rail a little bit, and we're approaching the 2-minute mark, and there he goes in, dropping in with those rockets onto rapha, trying to find some good position for this fight, and he doesn't want a direct engagement just yet, going to try to get this Mega. The defense is going okay so far, it takes an RC rail, but he does grab the Mega though. And if he can get the next yellow, he's going to be looking pretty good. And maybe he's going to be wanting to like go high through the red now to try and get some good positioning for the next fight onto the next red. That would be something that would be really awesome for DaHanG. And there he goes. He catches rapha there. And rapha with some fantastic rockets once again. DaHanG has to fall back in. 1-0 is the score right now. And I mean, it doesn't matter what happens. Both players are like constantly low here.
Yeah, this is kind of quite often happen on Arrow Walk, where you can never get that dominating stack, which is what you're really after. So he's got to defend this Mega O, and he backs away. That's kind of, it's not really a miss time, but it's like a miss, you know, it was a bad judgment, a bad area of judgment, and now he's actually been made to pay for it, where rapha's probably going to move in. And interesting weapon choice to use shotgun, hits the rail, now DaHanG's in a terrible spot. So even though, yeah, I was going to say, even though that he hasn't really done any damage, that's a problem as well. So rapha has really got that 200 stack I was alluding to. So yeah, it's going to be really tough for DaHanG. Nice grenades though.
There is rapha, picks up that yellow, and DaHanG not able to connect a single grenade as of yet. Not even a little bit of splash damage, nothing, and he gets another one off the spawn. Oh, DaHanG just pummeling him, just punching him in the face there with that pummel there, and that's 2 that he got, but he also just died a couple times as well. So rapha now is actually making a lead for himself. It's 4-1. So, oh my god, those grenades were very scary, and rapha barely able to avoid those. Here he goes on the pursuit of his opponent, DaHanG. DaHanG going to come to him though with the rails, and rapha setting up nicely here, but this is a crucial time, and he does make a frag there. And of course, item spawning in 10 seconds. If DaHanG can get something, DaHanG can get him down right now, and he does get a nice rail right before the Mega. This is the right time to get a frag for DaHanG. And oh, he finds an impossible angle there onto rapha, and that's going to win him the Mega. But can he get the red as well? He's going for it, and he does manage to take him down, and that is the red armor for DaHanG, swinging things all the way back around, just like on Toxicity.
Yeah, really sick weapon choice there to use shotgun. A lot of players wouldn't do that, and they might try to go with rockets or even machine gun and not get the frag so cleanly. So really well played by DaHanG there. And he's in actually a really good spot now. Even though he's 2 frags down, he has got the stack advantage and the gun advantage, I think. So it'll be really interesting to see how he attacks this red. He's just going to go full charge, which can work, but also because rapha had such a strong rocket, it didn't work quite as well. So he's just got to get this Mega and maybe push in for the yellow even. He's not going to do that now.
Oh, nice.
Really nice by rapha. So this is where rapha can sort of push you away, where you feel like you should have got the frag. So now, instead of it being sort of 5-3 with you having the dominant stack, now it's just 5-3 with a decent stack. So it's going to be tough for him to get the frag with so much time for the items. You never see rapha go for an item now or get in a position where he can even take damage. And as you see, he's actually down at the green armor, which is kind of perfect play really. So he's in a position where he can't take damage. He's not going to show up for the Mega. He might go for some spam grenades, which is exactly what he's doing. I wouldn't push in here if I was rapha. He's not stupid enough to do that. So he did well there. Did a little bit of damage, and now he's caught DaHanG a little. I mean, he might. The thing is with rapha right now is he might think that he has so much stack that he can sort of fight. I don't think that he can quite yet. So grenades is the right option. So interesting fight.
And it's rapha. Rapha standing on the 25s, but it's not enough to survive that one. And the red is picked up by DaHanG. So DaHanG, he is getting his score back up to rapha, to the tie game that he really desperately wants. but it is really hard to do so. And again, you know, that health issue is again there for DaHanG, but Mega's coming up to fix everything for him. And if he can make the defense go well here, then rapha's going to be in a really terrible spot. rapha has to do well with the rockets. He's done not very much with them, and DaHanG's going to pick up the red armor, and so things once again aren't looking good. DaHanG, he can just charge at rapha, but rapha's going to have to be really sneaky, really cunning to try to stop this.
Yeah, he's got to play slow like he has been playing. It's also interesting to note that the last frag that DaHanG did get was exactly what I thought would happen, where rapha would think that he had enough health to fight, and he actually finished 30 health short of what DaHanG had. So yeah, it's really annoying when you sort of think they're weak and then they go to health and then they're not really that weak, and you still have to fight anyway.
Nice from rapha there. He stole away the Mega there. Good defense, and DaHanG actually finding himself with maybe not the best stack anymore, and rapha's going to get aggressive here. That fancies a fight just momentarily, and he repositions himself in front of DaHanG onto that red armor, and DaHanG now has to swing back around. He is in the position where he's pressured to do some kind of damage, some kind of pressure to keep the stacks even, so that rapha can't dominate him on the fights, and he's not really able to do so. rapha picking up a clean red, and rapha goes for the fight. This is so bad for DaHanG. Can DaHanG get himself out of this horrible situation? rapha switching to LG, trying to finish things off, backing away onto the Mega. Beautiful play there from rapha. That awareness, look at his health, that awareness of the item timing, so key. rapha is such a good player, seriously, you can just see it.
Yeah, that is one of his true strengths, is his item play, obviously. I mean, I'd say that's what his key strength is, that he's so good at timing. He can time 3 items, whereas not really many players can do that. I'm not sure how many he would time on this map, but he seems to be in really good control of at least red and Mega. So he wants to do damage on yellow, which he has done now. Maybe go for a little bit more spam. He doesn't want to take a rail right now, so that was risky to go through there, but he has managed to avoid the damage somehow. So he can grab this and maybe rocket jump up to the rocket launcher, but he has actually just decided to go full up the stairs, which has actually really worked out well, because the timing of the red, and also the fact that DaHanG has charged in. So yeah, DaHanG's going to lose this map from here with rapha full stack, and you know,
and momentum now just connecting, and there's a nice rail into the body of DaHanG. As DaHanG, he isn't looking at a Mega soon, not a yellow soon, it's just the red, and that's going to be rapha's. And rapha's done quite a bit of damage to him. If DaHanG gets cute and tries to make an attack here, it's going to be really favoured for rapha. rapha actually, you know, having to fall down the stairs, these grenades pushing him all the way back, so great play with the grenades there from DaHanG, but you know, Mega's there for rapha to fall back onto, and wow, actually catching a nasty grenade there, rapha, but still, as you said, it's going to be very difficult for DaHanG to take this back, but he's got 2 minutes to do it in, and there he is going to find a fight over there by the Mega, but he's not going to find it for long. rapha gets out of there, he doesn't want that fight, but great rail there, that's going to secure him positioning, but he's going to go for the drop, and there is a rail defensively from rapha, and it's just so hard for DaHanG. Everything he tries to do, it's just so hard for him. And there he is, rapha, trying to pressure once again, grabbing a red is DaHanG, and 90 seconds left for DaHanG now to find 5 frags. Can he do it? There he goes. rapha now looking at this situation where he's got to be really defensive. Mega just picked up by DaHanG. A minute left now. Things still tense, still possible for DaHanG. The crazy spawn fragging can do it for him. He just has to get that first kill. rapha push back again. And now, there it is. The 1 minute warning sounding. And there's a great rail again from rapha. It's like he can't, DaHanG just can't get to him.
Yeah, rapha always hits the clutch shots like that one. He will always, and DaHanG calls a good game. And that was, even though you might have thought that he had a chance, he really didn't from there. And yeah, well done to rapha rather, to take that map. He played excellently out of control, even though he was in a bad position a lot of times. As you can see, he did 1,000 more damage. So even though he was in a sort of a bad position stack-wise, he always managed to hit that first rocket, which is so crucial. Because if you miss the first rocket, they can sort of jump over your next one easily and then LG you or rocket you or whatever. Whereas if you hit that first one, it not only does it do 100 damage, so they might not keep coming, but it also it really holds them up, because especially if you hit them when they're in midair or something, when it just holds them straight where they are. So it's really excellent. Also,
so really good stuff, and yeah, I'm going to fix that in a second. So really good stuff there from rapha, and he's going to go ahead here. We're going to move on to Furious Heights. So this is going to be Really interesting once again. DaHanG, he's showing really, really good shape, but it's just so close between these two guys. It's really, really heartbreaking for both players. Well, for DaHanG, because if he isn't able to do this, then it's going to be one more huge tournament that he looked really, really good in, but wasn't quite able to go all the way in. But we're going to get live here very soon. There it is. The players are readying up here on Furious Heights, and it is rapha with the map advantage now at the match point, and we're getting live here. So, Fraze, take us away with the beginning of this match here. We're going to start with DaHanG.
Okay, so DaHanG got a really nice spawn. I like this spawn because you get rail, which is such a dominant gun on this map, particularly when the opponent doesn't have it, which rapha won't at the moment. So he's just going to make sure that he can get onto the rockets and maybe the LG as well, which is cleverly he's going LG first so that rapha can't deny that. So now he should probably, yes, this is the unfortunate thing, is that he doesn't have rockets right now, so he would have been able to maybe push in or at least stand from above. So he just wants to hit one rail here. It's really important that he hits it, and he's actually missed it. So rapha with the ascendancy to begin with, it's going to be tough for DaHanG to really move in for Mega. So rapha's going to have 200 here, and yeah, DaHanG still needs to get in on the rocket launcher, which is what he has now, or he's moving towards. So he's got to make a decision whether he wants to defend the red or not, and I think he is going to defend it, and as you can see, it's a bad decision. He's probably going to... Oh, he's actually managed to hit a lucky rail. He shouldn't stick around for another one. If he gets railed here, then he's in a terrible spot, but he has managed to actually hit the shots, so it has worked out not too bad for him.
And there it is, rapha going to find a bit of damage here, but DaHanG, he's got rapha got a pin there, and despite his stack being not the best ever, he's got kind of control of that positioning, which is really key. And DaHanG right now just charging back, trying to find himself a shot. Look at that beautiful angle there. I mean, only possible at the peak of the jump pad. Great stuff there from DaHanG as he charges in onto red armor, and look at that, brutalizing rapha there and managing to just reinforce his stack. It's so strong right now. And right here we have DaHanG in the leading situation. rapha going aggressive. How do you like this move from rapha here?
I don't like it at all. He doesn't have enough stack or guns, and if DaHanG was using LG instead of rail, he probably would have just been minced. So with DaHanG in a really strong position, he'll be able to grab red and then push into Mega as well. So it's going to be really tough for rapha to even do anything. He's actually decided to defend down low. So it's interesting that DaHanG is going to be sort of plus back here. Maybe I would have liked taken on the rockets. I know that rapha has really strong rockets, but I don't think that he had enough health there to really be able to defend as easily as DaHanG made it out like that he could. So it's going to be tough for DaHanG to sort of get another frag now, which is what you want. You really don't want once you get your first frag, you don't want to really have to labour for your second frag, which is what he's going to have to do now. So he didn't really take advantage of the fact that rapha was a fresh spawn.
Certainly. So right now, the Mega's coming up, and rapha, where is he? Where is he? I mean, he needs to do some kind of pressure damage here, something to just at least... There it is. There he's spotted over there by DaHanG, coming from the top spot, and rapha trying to do any kind of damage he can, but not really finding anything. DaHanG hits a nice rail, but at least, you know, rapha's going to be able to secure another red armor for himself, and that's really, really nice there from DaHanG here. So rapha, what does he need to do here to really shake DaHanG?
He really needs to hit like a couple of rails in the middle, so he'd do well to go to the grenade launcher and maybe try and hit a rail, or exactly where he is right now, down below. He can't fight for this red, but he can go for a little bit of damage on it, which he probably will do. So, and then with all items coming up at exactly the same time, this is going to be really great for rapha, so he should be able to grab Mega and maybe a yellow, which he has done now, so it's really great for him. So he's in an excellent position, and he's actually decided to fight, which I don't really like. I think once you sort of have gained your stack back, so you're in a good position, like a much better position than you were sort of 30 seconds ago, quite often players will sort of put the game, not the game, but put the situation to that exact moment where they sort of grab the armor, think, all right, I'm ready to fight. Whereas I prefer generally to get those items, slow down, and then look for a good fight rather than just looking for the first fight. So it's interesting that DaHanG has now actually been pushed away from the Mega. He did quite a lot of damage, so he's not in too bad a spot as long as he can get onto the rail yellow, which rapha is actually going to seal himself. So DaHanG's got a choice now whether he wants to defend this red, which he won't do because he's a little maybe scared of rapha, which rightly so really, but he's going to back away to a yellow. So he needs to get this, and he can't take a rail here.
Good move from DaHanG there to get himself out of trouble, and just waiting here, very patient. You know, very stuck between a rock and a hard place right now on Furious Heights, and he's going to have to fight here from rapha. There's nowhere else to turn, nowhere else to go, and rapha finishes it off with a rail. DaHanG did magnificent damage there, but it was not quite enough though, and rapha is going to survive. He's got this mega as well, and as we hit the halfway point, it is incredibly close between these two players, and of course it is rapha with the map advantage, with the match point here, so DaHanG has to bring this back if he wants to have his chance, his tournament, his tournament life kept alive here. He wants to go through against rapha. He has to win this map to force it to that decider. And we have red armor coming up next, and rapha there kind of locked away on that point and not able to really push onto that red. So this is quite a good situation again for DaHanG. So let's just jump over to DaHanG, see what he's doing here. There he is, spotting rapha there over on the top there, above that rail position, and he's going to go for this mega challenge. Who is going to win this? This is really, really key right now. And there he's going to get the LG, really good LG from DaHanG there, catching rapha, dropping as well. rapha taking huge amounts of damage, but connecting an insane rail right at the end there to even things out. And both players pretty weak here, but this red is coming up.
Yeah, as we saw there, that was a mistake by DaHanG to even be in there to fight. I mean, once he did the LG damage, he didn't really back away as quickly as he could have. So he made a bad situation worse by sort of sticking around. Oh, but he's actually managed to pin rapha there. But so unlucky to take that rocket, because if he didn't take that rocket, he'd have a good position to get the frag here. And instead, he's have to use plasma. It's going to come down to the wire, and rapha with 9 health. So he's going to be able to get the... Oh, and this is risky to come out here with no 50 bubble up. Doesn't want to take... In fact, DaHanG could almost charge in, but he's decided not to, which... It's okay, because then you stack up and you'll be fine again later, and you'll have a good opportunity. But there was also a decent opportunity there if he pushed in, because rapha was so low. So it's going to be tough for DaHanG without the guns that he doesn't have. So in fact, he doesn't have rockets. He's the only one that he doesn't have right now. So he's actually not in a too bad a spot, especially being on the red. So he just needs to grab the red, grab the rocket launcher, set up for the do damage on whatever yellow rapha goes for, and then set up for the mega, and then move back into red. So we'll see if he can do that.
So 4 minutes left here. rapha 1 frag ahead. Still pretty low here. Going to be creeping on down and going through the teleporter, trying to find a good angle onto DaHanG. He's going to try to lock this choke point down. He doesn't want to go for a direct confrontation, but he can sure as hell try to stop DaHanG from moving as he wishes across the map. And actually, it's going to be him with that money position above, trying to throw grenades down onto that red armor. This gives a lot of options here on the escape, on the information, and to do damage. rapha needs all those options alive, because he's not got the stack here to really do much. He needs to know exactly what DaHanG intends to do, and now he's got to get out of there, because here goes DaHanG for this engagement. DaHanG is strong, and he's pushing forwards. DaHanG is coming closer and closer to the kill, and finally grabs it, and there it is. And it's a tie game, 3 minutes remaining here on Furious Heights. Red armor is coming up here now as well for DaHanG, and is there going to be any kind of crazy aggression here from rapha? No such thing, and rapha making good decisions so far, but no, he's going to get caught coming out of that rail position. That's so crucial there, 3-2, and all of a sudden DaHanG is swinging this massively back into his favor, and rapha finding himself in a troubling spot again. And what can he do to get out of this? Great rails hit from DaHanG, trying to hit another one, but can't quite manage to catch him there. But DaHanG's already done such a good job. Oh, catching another one. rapha exiting that LG room, but it's going to be the rail, the choice again and again, looking for the next shot. But rapha has him so low, and he's just going to get dropped there. Beautiful play there from the world champion. And now, Fraze, it's 2 minutes remaining, and rapha, he's got to hit more. He's doing just that, but DaHanG, beautiful flick shot there.
Really clutch rail. It's kind of the two previous frags that rapha died were quite naive play by him. For example, going into the rail, knowing that he sort of spammed a few grenades and then sort of thought that would mean that DaHanG wouldn't come into the rail, which was, it's maybe like a less experienced player. And I'd kind of surprised that rapha sort of went for the rail, even though there was an element of risk for him to lose his entire stack, which is exactly what happened. So DaHanG in a really sick position here, and he'll grab red. And I think the problem is for rapha is he doesn't have enough time now to slow the game down. So he's just called GG.
There it is, and DaHanG, he's going to force it to the next one. That's incredible.
A player of rapha's experience knows that he can't win from there. So it's really, it's unfortunate for him that he did go into the rail there, because that was the turning point of the map, and it was really. I wouldn't like to criticize such a great player, but it was poor play. And then the next frag, he went for mega. I mean, he probably thought that was a good time to sort of take a risk and a gamble. Yeah, he might have known that he only had 20%, but he sort of thought that was a good 20% rather than back off and have no chance. So that wasn't as bad, but yeah, going for the rail was the thing that cost him there.
And it's all going to be decided on Blood Run. It all comes down to this. And so many tournaments have come down to this.
Yeah, really, really great comeback there by DaHanG again. To have been in not a great position and then do well. So really
Getting live as well.
Yeah, final map.
Here we go.
Big game here.
Here it is, the final map between DaHanG and rapha. The winner of this will go through, and the loser goes out. The stakes are high here at DreamHack Winter 2013 Quake Live Championships. Blood run. DaHanG under a lot of pressure right off the start. The LG just drilling into him there, pinning him down. There's 50 health left and not much to work with, and there it is. rapha puts him out of his miserable existence there, just taking him down, and that's going to be a fresh spawn for DaHanG and a quick 1-0 for rapha now as he works this lead.
Not really an unfair spawn, but it's not the ideal spawn you want in such a high pressure game. So it's interesting that DaHanG still actually now has 75 armor, so he's actually not in a terrible spot, especially with rapha blowing so up a little with grenades. So the main thing for DaHanG now is he doesn't have any weapons other than rockets and plasma. And I don't really count plasma as a true weapon. I only count the 3 main weapons. And as you can see, that he's just been trapped going for one of those weapons that he doesn't have. So that's kind of, again, naive play to think that rapha might not be there and take the risk, knowing that if he is there, you're going to die. So it's those sort of situations like we saw in DM13 where he's walking around the map and just hope that he's not there. You never want to be playing like that. So it's going to be really hard for DaHanG from here with no guns, grenade spawn, and rapha, interesting enough, actually saw the grenades were taken, so he'll know that that's what he got.
Let's go over to DaHanG. He's got to be panicking at the moment. It all comes down to this one map. He's got a horrendous start, 3-0 down on Blood Run in under a minute, and right now we can see he's going to do his best here to try to calm things down. And there's rapha just whiffing a rail there. DaHanG is he's not got a lot to work with, as you so rightly pointed out. You know, rapha's doing a great job cycling all the items, and DaHanG is really looking for something here, and anything he can get right now is just I don't know. It's like seeing the oasis in the desert, and right now he's just got so little points of health and armor to work with, and there he spies a red armor. rapha with a rocket jump up though. Did rapha let him take it to make the fight happen, do you think?
No, he didn't let him take it. He sort of just is one of those situations where you're okay with their opponent getting a little bit of stack and you just wanted to do a little bit of damage. He wasn't trying to go for a frag there. He just maybe wanted to let him get it. Not let him get it, but he was forced into letting him have it so that he could do maybe a little bit of damage, which he actually ended up not really doing. I mean, he could have really pinned him up there with LG, but DaHanG sort of got in an awkward position right next to him. When
it's next red as well, so DaHanG fancies his chances. That rail's going to help him massively on this pickup, but it's going to be risky either way because rapha's down there below and he can connect damage. DaHanG's trying to flush him out there, flum out with the grenades, spamming down, but DaHanG yet to do much other than just take some rail damage, and that's really going to be painful now because if he does go up there, he's risking almost his life.
This is bad play by DaHanG to stick around going for rails, because rapha can sort of sit there and take one or even two, and he's okay. DaHanG takes one. Now it's risky to go up for rockets, for the red armor. And as you can see now, he's in a terrible spot. If he'd have just rocket jumped for the red armor, quite often the player down there, especially with an LG, they can't really do that much damage unless they pin you, and that's so unlikely, especially with a player of with rapha's LG, it's not quite as pinny as what some other players might be. So maybe against like a Strength or a Tox, you wouldn't really want to do it. But I think against rapha, his LG is like
nice stop
not
there
as
with
good,
the
not as good at pinning. So I think DaHanG would have been better off just rocket jumping. But he's now in a terrible position, especially if rapha comes charging through, which he hasn't actually. So
yeah,
staying
alive.
He's run out of guns as well, so he needs to go over, get this yellow, and then just slow down.
Ouch!
Big rail.
Oh, just rocket jumping away there and sneaking off. DaHanG so far, I mean, he's kept it to 3-0 after 3 minutes of play, but you can tell, you know, it's so frustrating, one of the most frustrating positions, and really this is a make or break moment for him in this tournament. So it's going to require every ounce of energy he has, and there he does stop rapha again. First he stopped him with the grenade over the other yellow, and then it took those rockets. So he's actually staying alive. He's pushing rapha back every time rapha tries to get in for some cheeky damage. DaHanG's able to just put the stopping power there, and that is what's keeping him alive. But you can see he's always taking damage from that, so it's really hard for him. Eventually he might be able to get stacked up enough to take a big fight again, but it's not looking like that's going to be necessarily soon.
Yeah, big rockets by DaHanG so far, and they're so crucial because if you miss one, your opponent can get next to you and it's a frag, and more importantly, you lose all your guns when you die. So it's people don't they underestimate how important not having your gun is, and that's not really great by DaHanG. I mean, he should have known that Rapha was never going to die to that sort of LG. Even if he hits 100%, he's still going to die. So it's not really great play by him.
I think it's frustration. Like
maybe, yeah, because the game's going to be so hard for him right now, especially with Rapha sort of getting lucky there and jumping across, taking no damage. So that's really important because now he knows where DaHanG is. So Rapha shouldn't really be going for any damage right now because in these situations when items are coming up and you take maybe 2 rails, now they can push in, whereas before they couldn't push in. So DaHanG, he's got a chance here. He needs to sort of grab these rockets and attack this Mega, I think. And that's, if he can't win it, he's lost. Yeah, he's going to attack.
Oh, just not.
I would have liked to see him more aggressive there. I think that was a good shot, and he's not going to get another one for another couple of minutes. So yeah, he's in trouble now, a lot of trouble.
Here we go, 5-0, just past the halfway mark. It is the deciding map between Rapha and DaHanG. And there goes a nice rocket from Rapha onto DaHanG. DaHanG doing a great job there, pushing Rapha up a little bit, but he needs to do more here. And we don't have the red or the Mega up too soon, and this is pretty much the weakest Rapha's looked in quite some time. So maybe DaHanG, maybe he can find his moment in this. Maybe this is the time to be aggressive. There go the grenades raining down there again, and Rapha still standing guardian to the red armor, and oh no, DaHanG gonna drop there. So horrible there for DaHanG. He must be absolutely gutted when he missed that rocket jump, and now Rapha's gonna take that red armor, and DaHanG, he moves further and further into a horrible scoreline.
The problem with DaHanG now is he'll start looking at the score and thinking, I'm out, you know? I've lost, I'm out. And that's really such a terrible mindset to be in. So you'll probably see him do something either stupid or just never get his way back into the map. So yeah, it's going to be so hard for him. He needs to take a risk and take it soon, because 6 frags is doable, but the problem is if you leave it too late, then it's so easy to just plus back, and then if they get one sort of good engagement, then it's over. And yeah, although DaHanG sort of had to go there, it was pretty obvious for Rapha. I mean, it's game over. I mean, well done to Rapha, I guess. So he's going to be going into the semi-final. Of course, it's not over, but I can't never see Rapha losing from here. I've never seen it.
Yeah, it's one of the players who takes the most optimal plays all the time. So in the least of risks, the highest percentage
plays. The only way
plays.
it's going to happen is if he literally moves his aim, which is not going to happen. Like, if he missed all his shaft there and he took all the plasma, that's the only way he's going to lose. And that's going to happen like 1 in 100 or more probably. So it's literally never going to happen. So even though DaHanG's got Rapha low with red up, and no way for DaHanG to really attack it. And he calls good games, so well done to Rapha.
Good game. Congratulations to Rapha, going to make it onto the semi-finals. World champion in the running still, and it's a heartbreaking moment for DaHanG, I'm sure, but he showed us some great games, so massive props to DaHanG.